Hello guys, thank you very much for joining in. Hi, this is Ganesh Naik. I help finance professionals and students to excel in their career and become a better version of themselves through a lot of trainings and development and mentoring. And I'm back with my one more video where I'm going to talking about the recently concluded FRM Level 1 November 2021 exams. Okay, so a few observations from the exam point of view. The first observation being, this is the exam where CBT format was again being tested, the computer based format. So we have not seen any student getting same repeated questions this time. Okay, questions ranging were very different. Okay, few of the concepts were getting repeated. Okay, but those concepts were very few, in the sense you cannot see a pattern of concepts that every student is getting tested on. This was the first observation. The second observation being, the exam has been heavy theory. So if you look at the bifurcation of the exam, 100 questions, 80 questions was primarily theory and around 20 questions was primarily calculation. Within that 20 question also of the calculation, around 3 to 4 were heavy time consuming calculation, the rest were slightly easy. So if you have seen the book properly, you would be able to pick up around 14 to 15 questions properly from the calculation driven questions in the exam. The rest 80 questions, okay, theory questions, most of the questions, if I take the bifurcation of 80, out of 80, around 30 questions were pretty much straightforward from the book. But the rest of the question, the rest 50 questions were, this is where the institute was checking your ability of understanding of the concepts. So they were giving you concepts and the options in such a way that you would be able to eliminate the options 2 out of 4, but the rest 2 is where your basic understanding of the concept is tested. Okay, so out of 80 theory, you might be able to pick up 30 pretty easy, but the rest 50 is where you need more clarity, concept clarity, more reading of the book to get answers right. So this was basically the basic bifurcation of the content for your FRM level 1. The third very important observation that happened during the exam is that the institute stopped showing you the score. For the initial few days, students were able to see the score, and on the basis of the score, they were able to judge whether I've been able to solve or whether I've been able to get good number of questions right. But I think so in the middle of the exam, they stopped showing it because they might have got the information that people are using that score to judge and get an understanding about their results. So they stopped showing the score. So the rest of the students are now not very clear whether they're passing the exam or not. Okay, the next important observation, and I feel that the next exam, which is going to be the May exam primarily, is also going to be heavy theory driven, but it does not mean that your calculation based questions are not getting tested. Okay, what institute is primarily trying to do is, instead of checking your ability to solve questions fast or remember a bit formula or do a calculation, they're converting those questions into theory and trying to check your understanding in that question. So I'll give you an example. Suppose there is a CAPM formula. In that CAPM formula, if suppose the risk-free rate goes up, how exactly your assets return is going to get impacted. So that is how they might ask you in theory. And theory also, the questions were slightly, the question size was slightly big. Okay, the options which were given to students were very much closer, so it was slightly difficult for students to eliminate the option if you have not seen the content once or twice. One more important observation that I've seen is that when I was talking to people who have read the Schwezer properly, okay, twice before the exam, and they've been able to solve the question bank decently, okay, around 80% or 75 to 80% of the question bank also, they were seeing that the exam was slightly easy, because in this exam we have seen that the institute is testing on 1 or 2 lines from the book and creating a question on that terms. Okay, so I feel that the same pattern might also get reflected in the May exam. So reading of Schwezer and basic understanding and clarity of the concepts from the Schwezer book also is going to be very important for your upcoming exams for the FRM structure. Okay, I feel that the pass percentage should be around the same, around 40 to 45%. They would not change it. Okay, and if we talk about the score, okay, in July exam we have seen that around, if you are able to score around 50 correct answer across the book, you would clear the exam. And I think so for this exam, the score has to be around 55 to 60. Okay, but if you are between 55 to 60, ideally you should be able to clear the exam, assuming that you have solved the questions across the book. Okay, so 55 to 60 is a decent score, which I feel that students should be confident enough to pass the exam. I've seen a lot of students also scoring above 60, 63 in the exam, so they're almost there if they've not goofed up in any of the book. Okay, so this is what the observation that I've seen by talking to a lot of people who have given the exam. Okay, and a lot of people are not very sure whether they will clear or not been able to clear the exam, because it was a theory exam. And this is generally true for any kind of theory exam, because when you give a calculation based exam, you know you're getting the right answer, but for theory it is practically not possible for you to predict your performance. So this is a normal trend, so don't get disheartened, and you might clear the exam also. Okay, so don't worry about it, focus on the preparation further. You can start out with your level 2 preparation. Okay, so this was the analysis of FRM level 1 November 2021 exam. I hope this video helps you and motivates you to go for the exam, and for students who have already given the exam, helps you to motivate you and to go for the level 2 exam also. Thank you.